Hi, my name is Jesse Schrader, and I am the host of your closing in service for spring 2019. This in service is a general overview of closing expectations and information that you need to close our communities down for spring 2019. Your supervisor will provide you with more detailed set of instructions for your community as they have their closing staff meeting with you. For spring 2019, our closing calendar is as follows. The last day of classes is April the 30th. At 5 o'clock on April the 30th, we will have 24-hour quiet hours going into effect. Exam week is split up into two different parts with a weekend in between for students to do some extra studying. Wink, wink, please do so. The university will close for undergraduate students May 9th at 12 o'clock. Any student not participating in senior week or commencement related activities must be gone at that time. Your supervisor will have a list for you of students who should be leaving at this time. Senior week is May the 10th through May the 17th. Yes, you may not be a senior, but as you're working for our department and required to be here, these activities are open to you as well. As we receive a list of these activities, we will post for you to have. Commencement is May the 18th, and that is the day that everyone must be out by 4 o'clock, even if they are a graduating senior. As we get into closing, every RA will have a mandatory hall meeting for their residents. There is no excuse for a resident to miss this hall meeting unless there is an academic reason. Any other reasons, please speak with your professional staff supervisor. You need to be prepared to have this meeting between April 24th and April 30th as a departmental directive. Your supervisor will provide you with an agenda that is all the pertinent information you need for your residents. Do not let the residents on your floor or in your hall or in your community who are attending your meeting rush you through this closing hall meeting. The information in the agendas provided by your supervisor will help to explain how these students need to leave for the year and how they cannot be financially charged for not following instructions. A big part of our closing process is our checkouts. Some of our older students may remember a standard checkout process that RCL used to have. We no longer offer that process. We only have an express checkout process. Express checkout is very simple. A student can come to the front desk and drop their keys off and check out and leave, or they can go to a designated drop-off spot in each community and drop their keys off in an express checkout envelope in this drop-off location. Either way, after we receive the keys, we will process certain paperwork such as the RCR completion request form that you should have been using all year long, and an RA will complete the bottom part of that paperwork as they do a room inspection. On the right side of your screen, you'll see an example of one of our drop-off locations. This is the Lancer Park location. A lot of our communities do have a black mailbox type item that students can drop express checkout envelopes into with their keys once they're ready to leave. Other communities have a different type of system set up, and your supervisor will tell you what that system is based on the community if it's required. While you're working, please make sure you're checking the block mailboxes frequently, as students can leave at any time as they wish as long as they drop off their keys. So we want to make sure we're always checking those mailboxes to get the most up-to-date information processed and our students checked out of Mercury. While you're working the desk, please make sure you examine your checkout list and start working on room inspections as an RA. During the day, the desk staff will fill out RCR completion request forms for you to complete once you start working. Please make sure you take that with you and start doing RCRs to the best of your ability. If a student comes in to check out while you're working the desk on duty during exam week or senior week, please make sure that you can try to complete those inspections as well. Any damage you see in that room or any different status for any item that's not listed on the ERCR Mercury, please make sure you document. If a student does come in to check out, make sure you check them out of Mercury. If you do not remember how to do this, you can go into Canvas on the front desk procedures section under the modules piece and click on the PDF that tells you how to check students out of Mercury. The last thing about desk shifts is to talk about keys. Students who are checking out must return the proper keys that they were given in August. For our apartment communities, students like to switch rooms without telling anyone, and this is an improper room change, and they will be charged for that. But make sure the keys they turn in match what's on their key receipt. Also, some of our students in all over main campus and the apartment communities like to just say, oh, I lost my key, so I'm just going to leave. Those students still need to come to the front desk and check out, and we will bill them accordingly. When we're doing checkouts, you all are documenting damages you find in the room, but you do not have the ability to determine if an item is damaged or needs to be charged. You document what you think is a damage, and your supervisor has the final say-so. If a parent or a student asks you if something will be a charge if this item is damaged, you simply say, "My supervisor assesses damages and charges, I do not," and leave it at that. Please do not put yourself in a position where a parent or student calls us and tells us that their RA told them this item or part of their room would not be listed as a damage and they wouldn't be charged. It's not a good look for you. Some tips and tricks to kind of get you through closing. Make sure you're clearly documenting what the damage is on the RCR completion request form. Your professional staff supervisor will be using those forms as they walk into different spaces to find the major damages you have requested and put down. It makes our jobs a little bit easier when you clearly document that damage. If you're taking pictures, please make sure you are clear with that picture and you show the damage in that picture. Use your whiteboards, list the room and what the damage is, and get the whiteboard as close to the damage as possible so that we really know what's there in the picture. As we start to close, we will have dumpsters in our residential communities and our apartment communities that come out just like we had during opening in August. That being said, on main campus, your hall trash chutes and hall trash rooms will start to close at a certain point. After that, students need to take their trash to the designated dumpsters for your community. If trash starts to pile up, please make sure you put in a service call so that the BUD group can come in and take out all of the trashes in the hall, as this is a fire hazard and an evacuation hazard in the case of emergency in your community. There is a drop and swap this year that should be happening, and if that is the case, please explain that to your residents. The drop and swap is a very simple process where there's a location in each of your communities where students can drop off gently used items into that area or swap those items for another item a resident has already left. At the end of closing, we will have all those items donated to local shelters to help the less fortunate. During closing, our protocols do not change at all. If someone wants a guest or a parent to come in, they still need to be checked into Mercury as a guest. Nothing changes. We still check out dollies and things in the same process. None of our protocols change whatsoever. And last but not least, please make sure you're following the instructions your supervisor for your community gives you. They will have more detailed information for your community, and you need to follow that information as such. After May 9th at 12 o'clock, yes, we do close for the first time, but there is still work to be done. We still have students here, and there are other closing tasks your supervisor will assign. You cannot just up and leave whenever you want. Your supervisor will release you. They can give you tasks such as removing your bulletin boards, your door decks, organizing the programming supplies in your community, doing lounge inventories, etc., etc. Your supervisor will have more details for your community. This is the end of our virtual in-service for closings for spring 2019. Please make sure you complete the quiz following this video to get credit for completion of this in-service. Hope you have a great one. Goodbye.